Hello, what is going on, guys? We are back at it yet again with another Black Ops 3 video, and today I'm going to be sharing my tips on how to get better on Black Ops 3 and ultimately increase your kill-death ratio. I saw many comments on Reddit and other sites that people are asking like crazy how to improve at Black Ops 3 considering the movement, perks, weapons, spawns, etc. And that is today. That is not when the game came out. That is still today. I know there's tons of videos out there from good players explaining this, but just like everybody else, it will be different styles of play and explanation. This is going to be a rather long video than I usually do, but there's a lot to go over, so apologies in advance. But let's break it down into 3 different categories. Number 1, strategy. Number 2, awareness. And number 3, reaction time. You may have different opinions and there may be something that I miss, but the basics are the basics. And this is explained to the person that has a kill death ratio of 1 or below, or anybody that just wants to improve that didn't know these tips. But okay, let's not waste any more time. Let's get on with it. Okay, let's first talk strategy. Before you even get in the game, you want to have the weapon that is the most comfortable to you and the best attachments to throw on it. There are 2 ways you can figure this out, and that is to view by example, so watch the thousands upon thousands of videos that are out there on YouTube about what the best gun and attachments are to throw on. I even have a couple videos myself, but ultimately you want to decide for yourself by seeing if you like the sights, the pull-up time on the weapon, the recoil, any of that stuff. The second way you can figure out what the best gun attachments perks are is to do it by experience. Make a couple loadouts and either take them into a multiplayer game or try them out in a custom match. If you try them out in a custom match, the difficulty of the bots really doesn't matter as you're just seeing what is the most comfortable to you and what drops enemies the easiest. Going on with score streaks, they're also a factor. If you like to know where the enemy is at all times, I would suggest you use a UAV and use a counter UAV so they can't see where you are. If you're able to get the score streaks to pick up kills, throw in the Hellstorm and a Cerebus for the low ones if you're having trouble getting kills. If you do this right, you can actually earn a score streak with other score streaks very easily. If you get a Cerebus, hide and control it. If you control it, you can pick up a hell of a lot of kills and literally pick up a Talon and a Wraith with it. I did this plenty of times and it works pretty effectively. But if you can't, then you're going to want to obviously equip the lower score streaks until you up your game a little bit. And there's no shame in using UAVs and stuff because, that helps out a team more than you know. Moving on with sensitivity, sensitivity can also play a huge factor. If you find you are always going far off to the left or far off to the right when you try to aim at an enemy, the chances are extremely likely your sensitivity is way too high. Now you can master that high sensitivity, but it will take a hell of a lot of time to go over and it will probably frustrate the shit out of yourself without a doubt. The one thing you probably are concerned about, and that is that thrust jump. Getting owned because the enemy is able to jump, aim, and shoot all at the same time because they have a scuff. Well, there are a couple solutions. You can switch to a scuff controller and pay probably $150 for a decent one and do some jumping yourself, or use the famous bumper jumper setting on the controller. If you haven't heard about the bumper jumper setting, it replaces the left bumper or L1 button on the top with the A button on your Xbox, or I believe that's the X button on your PlayStation. So instead of throwing equipment, you can now jump with the L1 button. So you don't have to take your thumb off the aiming stick while jumping. Now let's talk awareness. The awareness of knowing the map is a huge factor. If you play the map enough, you will eventually figure out where the spawns will be, and that will give you a huge advantage. The one thing about spawns, they are random, and many spawns will spawn you directly in front of an enemy. So don't ever think you are safe when you spawn anywhere on this game like in the past Call of Duties. What you can do to know if you are safe is to view the minimap when you spawn. Are there any teammates around you? If not, there's a good chance it just spawned you around some enemies, so be careful and be aware to look around before just sprinting forward. The minimap, if you play core, is a huge advantage because you can always know where the enemies are coming from. A good scenario, for example, if you are in a building with 3 rooms, you're in one room, your teammate is in another, and nobody is in that one other room in the building, and there are no teammates outside the building adjacent to that room, chances are the enemies will be coming from that way. Sound, good for core, but also really great for hardcore. Listen to the enemy's footsteps. Not so many people put the perk on dead silence because of Tactical Mask and Gung Ho being crutch perks, so listening to enemies' footsteps is a great advantage. Some nice headsets out there can help a lot, but ultimately just turning your TV up is a great thing to do as well. If you go into your settings on Black Ops 3 and set it up in the audio from default to Super Crunch, put that on, it increases the sound effects and it helps a lot to hear enemy footsteps. Lastly, reaction time. It's going to be your greatest friend in any multiplayer shooter game. You need to have a faster reaction time than your enemy if you plan on winning more gunfights. The first thing you can do to improve your reaction time is experience. The more you play, the better your reaction time is going to be. You can also go into a private match and play with the bots, but put that on regular difficulty or higher. If you play with the bots on a higher difficulty, your reaction time is going to have to be better. And you're not going to get really frustrated because it's not going to hurt your KD because, after all, it's just a private match. If your reaction time just doesn't seem to improve, you tried everything, you tried that, you just can't do it, then I would suggest not doing the rusher strategy because the reaction time is a must on that. What you can do is play very conservatively and carefully. Run from cover to cover and aim going into a room or going around a building. Use your cursors of your gun to your advantage. If there's a doorway, put your cursors already on that doorway. Don't wait until an enemy's there. Put your cursor on the doorway so that way if an enemy does pop up there, all you have to do is hit your aim button and fire. I do both and it works pretty effectively. I rush often but slow down if I don't know where the enemies are coming from. Okay guys, I am truly sorry this was so long for you. Like I said, there was so much to go over. I really hope this helps you out in some way, shape, or form, as it is painful for me to watch somebody do really bad in-game, including my enemies. But this should give you a little bit of insight on how to prove Call of Duty, assuming you don't already know these tips. But okay, that's going to do it for me, and if you enjoyed, slap that like button in the face. And if you are new, sub a dub to see more Black Ops 3 videos on the tips. Until next time, I say goodbye and good luck.